Hi, I'm Diana. Thank you for joining me for Faith Stronger Than Cancer, a community where we come to learn and enjoy each other's company. Hi, and welcome back. It sort of looked like I got surprised that time, but running it myself, and somehow was actually a little surprised when I saw me show up. Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad that everyone is able to be here. I think I've gathered some interesting information for folks. So first, as always, let's begin with scripture. And it's a type of scripture that's really a prayer. And it is found in Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. So this week I did have some questions in comments, and one person asked me about brain fog. When I first heard about cancer treatment and brain fog, I honestly didn't think it was real. I'm not saying I wasn't sympathetic to the person that was saying it. I was, but it was like, it just can't be real. It is. It's real, and it's not a joke. Fortunately, mine was pretty heavy. It was pretty dense, but it wasn't really debilitating. Mine was mostly quick word identification. If it was a word that I was using that was sort of not in my total everyday use, I would often pause and be, what's that word for? And describe the word. And someone would say the word for me. So that happened to me a lot. And detail type things. I began to worry that if it was a detail, was the detail that I was remembering real? Or was it sort of, not exactly a dream, but sort of a dream? I didn't trust what my mind was telling me sometimes as far as a detail or appointments and stuff like that. So I did end up writing things down, things that I needed to make sure that I did do, and sort of checking it off so that I knew that I did do it and it was real. And then came the question, why? Why is this happening? And my first thought was, if this chemo is busy killing every cell that is growing fast for my own good, then if it's throwing a really broad net to get the cancer, it's throwing a really broad net, and it's probably swiping some brain cells too. So this is when I reached out to what has become my own personal nurse. I've had her on my show before. I'm sure that you remember Bonnie, Miracle Mom, known to the network as Miracle Mom. She's she's such a dear person. I think the whole team just loves her. And she has got, goodness, I'm going to cry about this. She has a very special place in my heart. God, I'm really going to cry. But she does. She's been very helpful, very understanding, and very free with her information. And by having her in my corner, I don't have to worry as much about reaching out to the nurses. I'm not saying that her time isn't valuable. It absolutely is. But I know that she's not trying to run from patient to patient anymore. So I feel comfortable reaching out to her and asking her my little questions, and she freely gives me the information. Not only that, she also gives me lots of prayer, which is also valuable. And if I can manage to stop crying, I can tell you what she said. Um, I guess I was sort of right and wrong. Maybe it wasn't necessarily brain cells that it was busy attacking, but in a way it is, because it the chemo attacks your red blood cells, and your red blood cells are what carry the oxygen to your brain and the rest of your body. And when they're getting depleted inadvertently as a victim of the chemotherapy, your brain isn't getting quite the oxygen all the time it really needs. And I guess it falls under one of those things happen. So the betterment of your body, things are being sacrificed. In the end, hopefully everything ends up living. That's, yeah. And you end up healthier in the end. I personally did find, and I was wondering how come my brain fog wasn't as dense as I've heard other people say that theirs was. And one thing I do is, and I've said it before, I drink a lot of lemon water. I've got some right beside me right now that I was taking some swigs of just before I went live. That helps a lot. It flushes. Basically, your vital organs are getting a good flush with this lemon water. The lemon does so many things. I find organic, fresh lemons. And part of the time, it's just squeezing the juice. The other part of the time, I like to just use the whole lemon. I've got a Vitamix, I think that's what it's called. Talking about brain freeze and how it's not that bad. Maybe it is. Vitamax. I don't know. A blender. And it's actually very tasty to just beat the entire thing. I try to get the seeds out, but the rest gets washed and goes in. The other thing that I think might be helping me, or might, yeah, I'm not on chemo right now, so I guess the proper terminology would be might have helped me. My sister said that many of their patients at the hospital where she works will use these vitamins. It's called Balance of Nature. And these are the greens. And I think that that helped me kind of rebound with my red blood cells. I think my reports showed that they were low, but Miracle Mom also pointed out that one lab to the next lab doesn't necessarily consider the same number as low. So I don't know if mine was really considered low or not, but I do know that my oxygen flow was low enough that if it came to standing still very long or walking, when I walk, I haul it. I don't just kind of mosey along. I walk. And I was like, oh, glory, because it wasn't enough oxygen to do that. So I do think mine were low. And I think that these did help with the rebound. And the other one that I was taking was this one. And this is mixed fruits. And I think between the lemon water flushing everything from my system quicker, as well as these two items, I think that it was able to help my blood rebound a little bit quicker than other people's rebound, or maybe not go as far down as some other people's might go or have gone. And I know that someone reached out to me and said that their mom was actually forgetting to pay bills during these brain fog moments. Mine hasn't been that bad. And since I found out about hers, I've been praying for her. I can only imagine how difficult that is for everyone, the family, her mom. It is frustrating. My level of it was very frustrating. Even I work for, this is being shown on ThisWay Network's channel, and I volunteer for them. And the things that I did for them or do for them, I'm saying it in past tense, meaning the things I did for them while I was still getting chemo. Some of it wasn't that complicated, but it required steps. And I would sort of question the steps sometimes as I was completing them, or pausing and, did I get this right? And just sort of staring at it and deciding as to whether or not it was right. So I can understand how someone could get low enough with their red blood cell count, low enough with their oxygen feed, that they do forget things like that. And I know it's got to have been very frustrating for her. So I've been praying for her. It's hard. The other thing I wanted to share is that my surgery date has been set finally. And I've got my way there. I'll be driving there, and someone else will be riding with me, and got everything taken care of. And I had a lot of, I don't know, I'm not sure what the word would be. It wasn't worry, it wasn't fear. It was I don't know, what next, what is best next kind of a thing, as far as reconstruction surgery and that. And that took a lot of prayer, and it took a special trip to the doctor, the plastic surgeon. It's an hour and a half drive. And I went there, I think on a Wednesday and a Friday to be, I don't know, we might need a different plan. You have a rogue patient on your hands, sir. And he was very understanding and very patient. And he offered another option. And I felt very comfortable with the second option that he offered to me. So that option is the one I'm going with. It's less invasive and less downtime. My life doesn't allow a lot of downtime, and I felt comfortable with the second option. And while I'm talking about the surgery, I've got, I guess, sort of an announcement. I'm not quite sure, but something else I need to talk to you about. As I just said, I work right now as a volunteer for ThisWay Network. And by being a volunteer for them, my program is aired on their network, and they help me download it and things like that. I don't have to, I sit here and record it, and someone else checks it to make sure that there's not some really big mistake in it or something like that. If I need editing, someone else does that for me. And someone else downloads it so that it actually shows on air channels and everything. So because of this surgery and the time it'll take to get recovered from the surgery, and then after that, I'll quickly resume chemotherapy, but instead of it being once every other week like it was, it'll be once a week. And that, because of my distance from the hospital and everything, it's a huge chunk of time out of the day just in traveling, not even including the time it takes to sit there with each bag going into your little port. And then after that, I quickly had radiation, and that's every day. And, these things, because again, I live in a rural area, it's a long drive. So these are hours out of a day just driving. I felt like it wasn't fair to the network that I won't be there. I feel like I won't be dependable because it's so many large chunks of time taken just traveling. It doesn't even include the time it takes to feel better after or sleep or whatever. I'm not sure. This is a new chemo regimen, and I've never had radiation. So I don't know how either one of them will impact me, but I don't want to leave the network kind of waiting, when's she going to show up? Are her chores really getting done, kind of a thing. So unfortunately, I'm also going to be stepping away from that for a little while too. It's a hard decision. It's so many people on this team that are just lovely people. And we've all grown to know each other. We're a bunch of strangers that I think that God put us all together. We're all believers, and we're very supportive of each other and the things that are going on in each other's lives. So it's a hard decision, but it's the only fair one because of time. And also because of time, you can only assume, or I can only assume, what my time is and what my time is going to be like after all of this and through this. And it's my feeling also that I need to redirect some of my time at this time toward my family. I want to, and I'm not sure how this is going to work. I've spoken with someone else on the team that knows how to do it, but I want to continue recording during my recovery. And I don't know how it'll air or where it'll air or anything like that. I will try to either keep this name of my show or come up with one that's very similar. So please try to find me. I want to continue to be informative for folks. I believe that this is a mission that God has laid on my heart. Otherwise, believe me, I wouldn't be putting my very private life out there for literally the whole world to see. That wouldn't be something I'd be doing. But again, I don't know how it'll be done exactly, or if it'll still be on this channel. I don't know. So try to find me. I'll try to keep the names similar. Try to include faith in cancer somehow, because I believe that it is my faith that has carried me through this far, as well as I have been carried through. And I'll change kind of the way that it's being recorded because of, again, I don't know how I'll be feeling through this next stage. Before, I was able to kind of recover in between treatments, and not fully recover by any means, but I did feel a lot better like around the second week. About just in time to get another treatment, I would start feeling a little bit better. So this, with the treatment every day, I might have to learn a different way to record, but it will be very organic because I do want to record the steps that are being taken and for you to be on this journey, and hopefully it will help you with your journey, or so that you can better understand someone else as they're facing their journey. So this is something that I still feel led to do. It's something I'm still going to be doing. I'm not sure how yet, but I do plan on still doing it. And it might be actually better this way because you won't just be kind of sitting there watching me sitting here chatting. I'm going to try to learn how to have one of those neat little shows that look like you're going along with someone everywhere they go, kind of a thing. So hopefully that will work out, and I'll be able to not be, I know I'm not going to be so graphic with everything that it horrifies or mortifies people, but enough of the information and how I'm feeling after that, you could maybe know what to expect if you're about to, if you're a few steps behind me, and if you're someone that's a few steps ahead of me, please do add in the comments or in the chat, or whenever you're watching this, let me know. I'm open for every pointers you've got too. Oh, speaking of pointers and tips, one more tip. If you have either mascara or razors on auto ship with someone, you can cancel both orders or put them on hold for a while. I don't have eyelashes anymore, and there's really not much need for a razor anymore. My eyebrows turned a very strange color. In real life, they're like sort of grayish, greenish, strange colored. I'm not quite sure what anything will look like when things return to normal. That'll be interesting, right? And so that was one more very important tip that I had to share. And again, folks, feel free to add tips and whatever you can add in the bottom. Continue to ask me questions, and I'll always, even though Miracle Mom is tied to the network, I'll still be in contact with her. I love the woman, so I'll be in contact with her, and I'm sure that the questions and everything that we come up with, I'm sure she'll still be very happy to answer them for us. I see, what else did I need to remember to tell you? There's the problem also. I trust my brain that I have just admitted sometimes is a little faulty, not as bad as it was, but I don't use notes or anything because I want my show to be real. What am I thinking about? How are things going, kind of a thing, and then it just flows straight from me to you. So I don't have notes. So hopefully I remembered everything that I needed to cover or wanted to cover. The biggest thing was it's your red blood cells. Probably that's causing your brain fog. And I totally sympathize with you. It's not pleasant. It is real. It's very real. A lot of people don't understand it. I ran into people that didn't understand me and my brain fog. The other thing I noticed that I did was if someone asked me a question, it took, instead of, the question wouldn't have been this simple, but it's what I can come up with on the fly real quick here. Is it sunny outside? It would take me a moment to gather the words together, instead of saying, immediately, actually, it's partly cloudy, it would take me a while to gather the phrase together. So if you do know someone that's taking chemo, that is why they're having these odd pauses. It does clear up mine in these, I think it's been 8 weeks now that I've been off of chemo. It's improved a lot. So it clears up fast. And I do also credit that to my diet. I eat foods that I know, like spinach and things like that, as I've already said. I eat things that I know are going to help with this battle and the things that are going to help my body fight it. So I had changed my diet and given up things that I loved. Cheese, believe it or not, was my biggest, probably hardest thing to give up. And I still sneak a piece every now and then. It's got many things that are good for you, but it's got many things that are really, really bad for you in it. And even for a healthy body, it's many things in it that's just not good for you. And I found that harder to give up than my sweets, believe it or not, because I've mentioned that I love my sweets. And I don't care for sweet nothing now, really, which if I wasn't living my life, I wouldn't believe that if I saw me saying it. But I'm not really into sweets anymore at all. Even sweet tea. I drink green tea now without sugar or anything in it, just straight up green tea. So I also recommend green tea. That will help you a lot with your little body. Yeah, I'm jumping all over the place, huh? Sorry. I know. Take notes, lady. But I think that I've covered everything that I need to tell you or wanted to tell you, even the things that came popping into my mind unexpectedly. So, thank you for joining me. And remember to try to find me. Probably my last day with the network will be just before my surgery. My surgery is August 12th. And my last day with the network will be the 10th, if everything goes according to plan. I have things that I still want to do for them and little loose ends that are good to tie up. So I'll probably have one more show, hopefully on this channel, and I'll still talk to you then. But until we meet again, peace.